Lima Airport in Peru. A police team in civilian clothes is getting ready at the check-in desk. Their target is Europeans trying to smuggle drugs back into their own countries. He's Romanian. Is that why you're checking him? Because he's Romanian? Yes, and also because his luggage has been wrapped in plastic. The plastic-wrapped bag intrigues the inspector. The passenger is questioned and searched, but appears unfazed. The police find nothing, and the Romanian is allowed to board his flight. Their focus shifts to another passenger at the next desk. He's caught their eye, although by his appearance, the 34-year-old Spaniard resembles any other tourist. This time, the police seem to have found their man. They uncover some white powder inside the lining of his jacket. And in a matter of seconds, the substance is chemically tested. And the reaction turns blue. Proof the powder is. They caught me, but never mind. Were you worried? A bit. You scared? No, I'm not scared. It's just over now. How much did you have on you? No idea. I didn't even know what the drug was. Where were you flying to? Madrid. So what's going through your mind right now? Nothing at the moment. I don't know. That's all, really. The Spaniard's journey ends here. Police prosecutor Juan Mendoza, who's assigned full-time to the airport, is now in charge of the case. It's a clear-cut case. The test was positive. Does that happen often? Yes, quite often, every day. They try and wrap the drug in different ways to get it past the police checks. The police investigation begins now. Using the passenger's mobile phone, they hope to track down who he was making the delivery to. What are these phone numbers? I've got two of those. This one is some guy I had a beer with. He's got nothing to do with it. Which number did they call you on to organize what you were up to? I don't know. It's there. They rang me this morning. Have you been to South America often, or is this the first time? Yes, it's the first time I've been out of Spain, actually. And what do you do in Spain? Nothing. I'm unemployed. You're unemployed? How much did they offer you? 7,000. 7,000 euros. Where were they going to pay you? Back home? Once you'd handed over the drugs. An increasing number of Europeans are being arrested for attempted drug smuggling. They tend to use unemployed people to smuggle the drugs. And how was he spotted? His profile. These people don't have much money usually. His shirt was brand new, and that made me curious, and his luggage was too small for a tourist. A few hours later, David, the Spanish passenger, is transferred to a police station in central Lima for questioning. There are several other Europeans in his cell, all of them held for attempted drug smuggling.
Where are you from? England. England. In the airport with drug?
No.
No?
All I kept doing was just like, over time, having it, just taking it myself, you know? I didn't know what to do with it.
Thank you.
Anyone arrested in possession of could face up to 8 years in prison. Lima, the calm capital of Peru, is rapidly becoming the main hub for drugs trafficking in South America. It's a mantle Peru is about to take from neighboring Colombia. Coca leaf plantations are abundant, and the drug costs less here than in Colombia. In an effort to stem the traffic, the Peruvian authorities have adopted some aggressive measures. Commando-style jungle operations to strike at its source, and also stringent surveillance of the country's airports to outsmart the increasingly imaginative methods used to smuggle such as swallowing capsules, hiding it in cereal bars, or even in native artwork. I don't know anything about it. I just bought these as souvenirs. A growing number of Europeans are being tempted in return for a few thousand euros to act as traffickers. The Peruvians call them the burriers, the mules, and often they get no further than the airport and end up in prison. Which is exactly what happened to Alain, a cook from France. He was caught in possession of 2 kilos of Since then, he's had to adapt to life in Sarita Colonia, the most crowded prison in Lima. There are people here, people there, and this guy here who's asleep, from the entrance and in all the corridors. It's the same. Women make up a growing number of the new traffickers. Far from their families and without help, if they're caught, the penalty can be heavy. Wendy from Holland was arrested when she was 19 and pregnant. She gave birth in her prison cell and has been sentenced to 14 years as a warning to others. Here's my daughter. I felt so weak, I just sat down and cried. I thought about my daughter and my mother. Who are these Europeans who hope to make money from drugs, and what price are they paying for it now? The French embassy is in downtown Lima. Camille Poli is the vice consul. On the phone is a jailed French citizen. We'll talk about it when we meet in an hour's time, okay? You can explain it to me again, calmly. Yeah, because I'm in a bad way and nobody here is helping. We're on our way. We'll be there soon, okay?
On arrive. À tout de suite, hein?
Imprisoned French citizens have become a new preoccupation for Camille and the embassy. Papers, books, medicine. The vice consul brings the basics on her visits. There are 3 prisons in the Peruvian capital. 4 Frenchmen are being held in this one, all caught red-handed with We try and visit them as soon as possible. Unless there's a big problem, we visit the prisoner every 2 months or so. We do what we can, but I'm all alone, so it's not that simple. This is Callao, a suburb of Lima. At the Sarita Colonia prison, it's visiting day for the diplomats. Which embassy? France. Just wait here, please. The Italian ambassador is ahead of you. It's always the same. Yesterday we called to make sure they'd received the fax, but they've lost it. Put your things there. What have you got? Painkillers. One of the inmates has toothache. After security, Camille will meet the French prisoners in the visiting room. When the diplomats visit, the prison guards make an extra effort to keep the rooms clean. It's the red carpet treatment today. Among the French nationals is Alain, aged 29, a cook from Aix-en-Provence in southern France. Not saying hello then? He had 2 kilos of when he was picked up at the airport and has been in prison for 2 years. There's also Diego, Michael, Francis and Laurent, all detained for the same crime and all sentenced to 8 years. Come and sit down and we'll talk shortly. The visit of the vice-consul brings the hope their daily routine might be improved. They want colchons, or mattresses, or simply money. But they'll be disappointed. The Chilean and Brazilian embassies, they don't have much money. But even they brought their nationals colchons and blankets. They have a budget for toothpaste, soap, and small stuff like deodorants, small things. I don't have any. You know, giving cash, like the Spanish or Dutch do, isn't necessarily the best thing. France does not provide money to prisoners. Instead, the embassy offers legal aid. Camille works with the inmates to seek early or at least provisional release. The visit over, Camille heads back to the embassy. Her impression of Peru's prisons is limited, based on her own VIP-style visits. And it's a far cry from the true conditions faced by her fellow countrymen. In the prison yard, it's the roll call. Sarita Colonia prison was built to hold 500 inmates, but now has almost 5 times that number, making it one of the most overcrowded in Peru. Many being held here are foreigners. There are 60 different nationalities, but the majority are here for drug offenses. After 2 years inside, Alain knows how to get by. Rule number 1, money talks. Getting hold of it takes imagination. The laundry drying above the yard is the result of a makeshift cleaning service. You can wash this, my towel? It got wet in the rain.
Buenos días.
Hello. Here's my staff.
Mis empregados.
We work every day to make a bit of cash. No one else is going to help us. Here guys smoke all day long, so to be able to buy it, they wash clothes, sell colchon, that kind of thing. But how does it get here? Well, during visiting hours, it's women who usually bring it. There's no alternative. If Alain wants his laundry done or even something to eat, he needs to pay. The only food the prison provides is rice and potatoes.
¿Sí o no?
It's the best food in the world, Peruvian cuisine.
Comida peruana. Osbridge.
Any other food needs to be paid for. Look at this. Good chicken, good meat. Many prisoners have become cooks, using the food parcels they receive from outside to prepare meals, which they sell for 5 soles, or €1.50.
5 soles. With chicken, fried chicken, everything.
5 soles.
Only 5 soles, yeah. But 5 soles in here is lots of money. You know what I mean?
Meals, cigarettes, whatever it takes to scrape together some cash, including trade in banned substances. Drugs are readily available in the prison, and Alain knows whom to turn to. Give me 2. He's buying in the middle of the exercise yard, just a few meters from the guards, who choose to look elsewhere. An outbreak of flu has many prisoners wearing masks. Alain will share his with the other French prisoners.
C'est vraiment tranquillement.
There's everything here,
Presque.
more or less.
Il y a tout qui passe ici.
Laurent is also from the south of France.
Obligé. L'écharpe de...
The 93 winner's scarf.
De 93.
There you go.
Charles de Marseille à balle.
Go Marseille, straight for goal.
Remplace Marseille. Droite au but.
Laurent was a steward at the Marseille Football Club. He's been here 1 year. He had a kilo of in his luggage.
Super travail.
I've lost everything. I used to have a great job. I had it all. I was paid very well.
J'avais un business ici.
I even had a business over here.
J'ai tout perdu.
But I lost it all when I started using drugs. And I didn't do it for the money.
Je le faisais pas pour l'argent. Je montais
I used to go up to New York to party. And then, well, maybe it's better I was arrested. Otherwise, I'd still be using coke. So I may not even have been around to talk to you, maybe. Inside the prison, what is allowed and what isn't is a very grey area. The guards often search the cells. What are they looking for? Phones and other stuff. Cell phones, yeah. Despite this, there appear to be a considerable number of phones inside Cerrito Colonia. The prisoners bribe the guards to turn a blind eye. We all got phones here, actually. Isn't it forbidden? It is, but this is Peru, and things get sorted out one way or another. Phones and drugs are available, but oddly enough, what are strictly prohibited is not the most expensive item. In this overcrowded prison, it's beds that are at a premium. Where do you sleep, in fact? I sleep over there. I stretch a hammock out and sleep in the air. From here to over there. That's where I put it. So where is your hammock then? Over there in the gym. I keep it there with all the colchons, the mattresses. It's empty now, but at night there's lots of people here. People occupy each square to sleep. All the way. To the end, and in each wing too. The majority sleep on the floor. In Cerrito Colonia, having your own cell is prohibitively expensive.
Salut, tous les Français.
Hi, Frenchies. How much did you get the cell for? $5,000. $5,000 and there's 3 beds. Yeah, each bed is $1,400. $1,400. Almost $1,500 for a small bed. Inmates who've been here for years buy and sell sleeping quarters to those who have the money. Wait, I need to make a call. Once or twice a week, Alain calls his family. Usually, he asks them for money, the only way to make his imprisonment more bearable. Hello, Annette. It's Alain. Did Angelina say whether she'd sent me something or not? Christine? But Christine is with you. Tell her to send something too. It would be really great. At the other end of the line, on the other side of the world, are family or friends. They still live near Aix-en-Provence, where Alain grew up. His mother, Annette, lives in this housing estate. For 2 years now, she's been getting weekly calls from her son. You know, we're always thinking of you. But behave yourself and don't do anything silly. We love you. Anyway, big kiss and speak to you soon. Love you. Bye. Bye, Alain. What's the most difficult thing for you? Speaking with Alain. Does he call you often? As often as he can. Very hard talking to him and knowing the terrible conditions he's in. There's nothing we can do. We can't visit him or help him. All we can do is listen, suffer, and wait. I've just spoken with Alain. Let me tell you all about it. Okay, how is he? Well, he's okay. He wants some more money for the lawyer and all that. He wants $1,500. This mother of three never would have thought her son would become mixed up in drug trafficking. What's more, on another continent. First I thought it was a joke. They said, "You have a son named Alain?" This is the embassy in Peru. I didn't even know where Peru was. Luckily, Angina had a map of the world, and I was trying to find it, because they told me Alain was there, and he'd been arrested in Lima. And I said, "Oh, where's Lima?" "Well, in Peru." Dear me, you see what life is like. You give birth to children, and then you worry about them, because they leave. They do something stupid, and then you end up on your own. She had no idea her son would get caught up in the war against drugs being conducted by the Peruvian authorities 10,000 kilometers away. An anti-drug swoop is underway in the heart of the Amazonian jungle in the region of Huánuco in central Peru. Carlos is a police lieutenant, part of a 450-strong drugs force deployed against the traffickers. Since the beginning of the year, 200 labs have been destroyed and almost 2 tons of cocaine seized. This operation involves 50 men and 8 helicopters. It's largely financed by the United States, which has provided Peru $150 million in aid this year in the fight against the drug trade. We take special care to minimize the dangers. Now, what are the dangers? Well, there's the Shining Path guerrillas in these areas, and drug traffickers, and even the local population can be hostile. You see? There's a small house down there? And all around it are fields of coca plants. The plantation could be hiding a laboratory. Peru allows the cultivation of coca as long as you have a permit. The basic ingredient in the plant is also used for medicinal purposes as a tonic. Hi, Grandma. The owner of this plantation is a grandmother who, like all the locals here, regularly chews leaves. Down there, is that all yours? How many plots of land do you own? No, you don't know? Wait, here is the authorization. The plantation appears to be legitimate, but they still need to search the house. Inside, no chemical products, no sign of a laboratory, just a chinchilla farm where the animals are fed on leaves. This time, Carlos has drawn a blank. But in the neighboring village, the police have been tracking 2 suspected traffickers for several weeks. Informers have told them a delivery is due to take place that day, and Commander Montez hopes to catch them red-handed. There are a lot of traffickers in these parts, so we have to remain alert. "15 men quickly spread out. The arrests are planned to happen at the exit to a village, crowded with locals. The police advance cautiously, but as they are about to intervene, the traffickers spot them and flee. A chase gets underway, and the police soon catch them. Where are the packages? Where did you put them? I don't know anything. I was just while walking. Well-equipped hikers. In their backpacks are weapons and some white powder. So what's this then?
¿Ya? Mira, maldito.
The test is conclusive. It is
Positivo.
positive.
¿Ya? Que venga el fiscal. Vamos.
There's probably about 8 kilos. 4,
8 kilos,
5,
4,
6,
5,
7, 8
7,
kilos.
8.
It's not the only thing the police find.
Escopeta del detenido. Del detenido, mi comandante.
Whose rifle is this? I don't know.
No sabe nada.
No, you don't know, eh? No, I don't. I was just walking by. I don't want to go to prison. I want to remain free. I have a wife and kids I need to feed. I know nothing. I want to go home. But suspected of trafficking, next stop for this man will be prison. More than 2 kilos means you'll serve at least 8 years in jail. Where were the drugs heading for? Lima first, and then afterwards anywhere in the world. Probably Europe. A successful operation over, it's back to base. This year alone, such actions have led to almost 1,000 arrests. Jorge Chavez Airport near Lima. What flights have we got next? There's a direct flight to Amsterdam. Juan Mendoza, the police prosecutor, has been given ample means to combat the drugs trade. Surveillance at Lima Airport is among the most stringent in South America. Everything is searched. It is also, again, a result of US aid, one of the first to have introduced body scans. It's a high-tech process that detects capsules full of drugs that have been swallowed by the would-be smugglers. The smugglers, though, have found new methods. To avoid the X-rays, they've begun using pregnant women. They know there's nowhere in the world where they would risk harming an unborn baby. A pregnant woman like Patricia. A 21-year-old Spaniard, she was 8.5 months pregnant when she was arrested at the airport in the company of her sister. She had 5 kilos of stashed in her clothing and in a diaper she was wearing. A few weeks later, the young woman gave birth in Santa Monica prison. This is the suburb of Chorrillos. Behind the walls is the Santa Monica women's prison. Inside, there are some 1,000 inmates, including Patricia, the young pregnant woman from the airport. This is my son, and that's my sister. My son's also Spanish. How old are you now? I had my 22nd birthday in here recently. What's the hardest thing for you? Everything. Giving birth inside here, mainly. His father's in prison in Spain, and I also have 2 other kids in Spain. Our clothes and the luggage were stuffed with coke. It was good, very good quality too. If I'd known about it sooner, I'd have come earlier, because I like taking it. I've been taking it for 18 years now. Inside this woman's prison are not your average inmates. There are children aged from just a few weeks to 3 years old, at which point they're no longer allowed to stay. In all, there are about 50 kids. So many, the authorities have had to open a creche.
No,
most of them are born here. In fact, all of them were born here. All of them. They were all born after their mothers were jailed. What I can't understand are why so many pregnant women take such risks. As in any creche, the children are divided into age groups. And are looked after by volunteers. It's hard to believe this actually is a prison sometimes. The children spend the days here and are reunited with their mothers in the evenings in a special wing. Wendy also gave birth in prison, but the baby no longer lives with her. She was 19 when she was arrested, and a few months later, Joanna was born. When the baby was 4 months old, she left for Holland to live with her grandmother. Wendy's been in prison for 3 years now. Her bed is one of the many lining the corridor. Do you write to your mother often? Sure, every week. My daughter was born on the 15th of August, and the following December my mother came to pick her up. Was it hard to give up your baby? Well, of course. It was the worst day of my life. I've been separated from my family. My mother has my daughter. But I know it's best for her. But it was painful, because she's my own flesh and bones. They took my baby away. Here, I have some photos. Look, that's my daughter, and that's my mother. I told my mother I was in Germany with some friends, and of course she believed me. I used to phone from Peru, pretending to be in Germany, to tell her everything was fine. On the day I was arrested at the airport, I called my daughter's father, though. He's the one who told my mother I was under arrest and pregnant. She didn't know? My mother knew nothing. Did the father know you were in Peru? No, no one knew. Or the fact that I was pregnant. I still don't know why I did it. I was studying psychology and had been working in a restaurant. I don't know. It was just a crazy idea. Look, my daughter sent me this for Mother's Day. Wendy was carrying 16 kilos of and was sentenced to 14 years in prison. One hope keeps her going. In a few days' time, her appeal will be heard in court, and her sentence might be reduced. If not, she faces another 11 years behind bars. Stop! I might cry. Wendy has had plenty of time to get used to the ways in this odd prison where the administrators try their utmost to keep the inmates occupied. In this building, a hairdressing salon has been opened.
No, we're gonna make a cola, all of us.
I'm getting a new look.
But she's doing my hair.
I want her to straighten my hair. She wants braids on that side. Just like last time? It's a hairdressing salon in the best traditions, almost like being in central Lima. A sales rep for a major cosmetics company is next to Wendy, looking to make a few deals. To her, the prison is a good market. It's different here, not like on the outside. Each week, we're able to make some money. Elsewhere in the prison, one young woman is still coming to terms with being arrested. Lucy is 31 and French, found guilty of trafficking drugs. Lucy was arrested 2 weeks earlier at the airport, an event recorded by the Peruvian police's cameras. She was stopped as she was about to board a flight for Madrid. In her baggage, police made a surprising discovery. Packets of mayonnaise and ketchup. But inside, there was in all, more than 4 kilos. Two weeks after her arrest, and Lucy is still in shock. It's hard. Very, very hard. I was arrested with 4 kilos of in my luggage. I admit it. Lucy doesn't speak a word of Spanish. Getting used to being in jail is tough. To keep her mind and body occupied, the authorities have given her unlimited supplies of thread and beads to make cheap paste jewelry. She'd been contacted in Metz, her hometown in northern France. She was offered 5,000 euros to carry drugs. To begin with, it was meant to be in Spain, but once there, she was asked to go to Peru. Now that I'm beginning to understand how everything works here, I mean, I see how things happen. They sort of sent me straight in at the deep end, straight to prison. Don't pass go, straight to prison. For Lucy and anyone else being found in possession of 4 kilos of cocaine means 8 years in prison. Still in shock, she's trying to understand what happened to her. In the next yard, there's a Keep Fit class. The fitness instructor comes here once a week. It's a surreal situation the young Frenchwoman will have to get used to. News travels fast in Peru. At Sarita Colonia, the men's prison on the other side of Lima, the 4 Frenchmen have just heard about Lucy's arrest. 24-year-old Diego is the youngest of the group and decides to drop a note to his countrywoman. I don't get visits here or anything. It's good to know that I can communicate and that she'll answer. I'm a long way away from my family, so I've no one, and that's hard, to be here on your own like that, with no family, nothing. So what do you think she's like? Well, like Parisian girls, blonde, tall, blue eyes. A very pretty girl, right? Like all Parisian girls. Communicating with the outside world is important to these prisoners who are cut off from the world. It's a way of forgetting their overcrowded conditions where tensions often lead to violence. A brawl is underway, and our camera isn't welcome. Seems to be a problem between 2 inmates. You know, sometimes in here it's like having 1 referee for 260 people. Alain's decided to show off his talent as a chef. He's allowed to use the prison kitchens for 2 hours under the watchful eye of a guard. So knives are allowed in here then? No, you need special permission. But this is a restaurant, or at least it's considered to be a restaurant. Want to try it? Go on, try it. Go ahead. Okay, go on then. Try talking to me in French. Here, not all the guards are idiots, like Butara. He's a very cool guy. Today's meal is shepherd's pie. Ah, olive oil. It's something Alain's been able to rustle up thanks to the parcels the French guys have received from their families. But in here, a simple aroma can quickly bring on homesickness. Home, the perfume of Provence, of Marseille, Aix, the Mediterranean. So you miss France? A lot, of course. I miss my family and my young cousins. I need to learn from my mistakes. All we need is a good rosé wine. And pastis. The guard gets the first helping, of course. Food's ready. Well, we're in the shit here, but it could be worse. When you play with fire, you'll get burnt. No good crying about it. That's right. Could be a lot worse. As they say in Peru, caballero. You face up to it. All we need is something to drink. Back in the women's prison, 30 kilometers away from the men's, a postal system has been established which allows Lucy in the morning to receive the letter that's been sent by the French prisoners. It's from the guys in the men's prison. It's the custom here that the inmates of the two prisons exchange letters. Do you know them? No, I don't, but well, it may be good to be able to write to someone who's from the same place you are. Time drags for Lucy. She's asked to complete her sentence back in France, but no treaty exists between Peru and France for such an arrangement. Her appeals are unlikely to be heard. To stop the prisoners from becoming depressed, the authorities keep them entertained with shows such as this dance troupe rehearsing in the auditorium. Amongst them is Wendy, the young Dutch woman. The girls are trading to win the first ever dance competition between prisons. You're women, and is that the way you walk? A choreographer has even been hired for the occasion. Usually women are meant to walk like this. But I don't know. Be more coquettish. We need to feel it. Luis, the choreographer, believes it's all a matter of restoring the girls' confidence. Try and express your emotions, to interpret them, act them. It's serious. If you have to laugh, then laugh. If you need to cry, cry. Same goes if you have to be serious or be melancholy, sad. You need to think you're already competing. To Wendy, dancing is a way to relieve her stress. She's waiting for her appeal, knowing that if it fails, she'll be inside these prison walls, separated from her daughter for another 11 years. A week later, it's the 28th of July, Peru's National Day. To celebrate, the prisoners take part in a parade inside the prison, with Lucy part of the procession. Each group wears Peru's national colors for their special holiday. Wendy is not taking part, but it's a decisive day for her nonetheless. You're not in the parade? No. Why? Because the other girls are doing it for me. In court, her lawyer pleads her case. She'll know her fate in a few hours' time. To help distract her, one of her friends has prepared a surprise. We've decorated it in a romantic way. There are even flowers. It's for me? You're crazy. Yeah, crazy about you. Maria is from Venezuela. She and Wendy have been living as a couple for several months. In prison, homosexuality is not allowed. Any signs of affection between prisoners and the authorities crack down. The supervisor knows we're a couple, but if they catch you kissing, you'll be sent to solitary, because here it's forbidden. So how do you manage? In secret. The parade is getting underway. Female prisoners and their children all dressed in red and white, the Peruvian colors. It's a rare party spirit for a place like this. Away from the crowds, Wendy is waiting to be called to the visitors' room. I'm seeing my lawyer, okay? Soon afterwards, as the parade is winding up, Wendy's meeting with her lawyer is already over. The first person she wants to speak to about her appeal is her mother in Holland. The news, however, isn't very good. They won't budge. I'll have to do the whole 14 years. You were hopeful, though. Of course. I always had hope. But it's all over now. The young woman doesn't break down, hardened by the 3 years she has already spent in jail. There's now no possibility of her sentence being reduced, although other inmates are more fortunate and hope to begin planning for their release. In Sarita Colonia, conditions have improved, as far as Alain is concerned. He's found work in the kitchens, which will pay him about 100 euros a month. But mostly he's hoping to be paroled. It means staying in Peru, and he knows there's somewhere he can stay. A few kilometers from the prison in one of Lima's poorer suburbs lives Luz Maria, Alain's girlfriend. Hello, my love. Listen, what else can I bring you? Some food, right? I can't hear you. What else? Soup? And what? The young woman has been doing business with the men's prison for several years now. She's one of many women who sell a variety of products and food to the European detainees. It's how she and Alain first met. We've been together for 2 years now. I met him when I was selling food to the foreign prisoners. Since then, I've stopped that and just take care of Alain. In Peru, we don't treat the foreigners well. They're treated like animals.
Señora. No, mamá, ese es por ahí.
Today is visiting day for women. Wives, girlfriends, and arrive at Sarita Colonia. I love you, my darling. 3 times a week, Luz Maria visits Alain. But today she's in a bad mood. She's helping Alain with his legal efforts and is looking forward to eventually moving to Europe with him. Alain has already planned out their future. I'd like my wife to have a kid, but Missy here doesn't want to. You don't want children with Alain? Yes, I'd have one. Not in France or Peru or even Spain. In France, no, because it's expensive. While in Spain, you know, she wants to go to Italy, but doesn't realize it's the same thing as in France. I want to take my child to Italy. In Spain, you get the same wages, but at least life is better there. So that's the plan, eh?
Italia.
As he works in the kitchens, Alain enjoys a few perks, like eating with Luz on the patio, which is relatively private. But Peruvians aren't necessarily won over by French cuisine. He made me a meal once, which gave me diarrhea for 3 days. A French meal it was. He keeps saying nothing's good in Peru, so why is he with a Peruvian girl then? Thanks to Luz, Alain has an address in Peru, and he's already served more than 1/3 of his prison term. He should soon be freed on parole. And then it's off to Europe with his girlfriend. The warden of the women's prison has some good news for the dance troupe, of which Wendy, the Dutch girl, is a member. Well, girls, all 13 of you, who've been working so hard these past few months, have been invited to perform in town. I'm so thrilled. It's been such a long time since I saw the outside world. Getting out, even just for a few hours, is a welcome and unexpected surprise. And the icing on the cake is the dance team will take part in a local television show. When I told my mother, I was quite emotional about it, because my mother means everything to me. When my daughter is bigger, I'll be able to tell my daughter that her mother was young once and a dancer. No, I can't let myself cry. I'm all made up. Stars for a day in the hairdressing salon, the girls are getting ready. A few minutes later, handcuffed and escorted by police, the young women are about to leave prison. They head to the television studios in downtown Lima. Hey, look, I'll show you something. On site, the police are taking no chances. Outings such as these are extremely rare. Look how beautiful this table is. It's a bit like being at home. In the dressing room is the show's presenter, Gisela, a TV star in Peru. She's come to say a prayer with the prisoners. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to be with your children, who today find themselves without freedom. Lord, you who can change and give everything, Lord. Lord, we thank you for all of this. Bless us this day and always.
Amen.
Amen.
So, are you nervous? It's soon time for the prisoners to get up on stage. Tonight's challengers, the inmates of the Chorrillos prison. Live on Peruvian television, the girls give an almost faultless performance, much to the joy of the prison warden. It's all over in just 10 minutes, all too quickly for the dancers. And they're soon in the van again, on the way back to captivity. For Wendy and for the others imprisoned for drug trafficking, the evening was a distraction, a way to briefly forget the error of their ways, for which they will be paying for a long time to come.